Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Daryl. I'm here today just to share with you a few talk to you about topic and share a few things on health and fitness. Before we begin, I'm Daryl Cheah. I work in eye sports in Island Hospital. So eye sports, which is our physiotherapy and rehabilitation centers. What we do is we help people with injuries or any health concerns regarding musculoskeletal systems, or in other way, things with your body. We help you guys with the injuries and anything you have to do with the body. I am a sports rehab therapist. I mainly focus on providing support in the sense of providing exercises. For example, you're injured, you need help, you see a physiotherapist who they will help you to alleviate the pain, trying to get you back on your feet. But hey, I'm not strong enough to go back to the activities I used to be in or I used to do. So my goal or my job is to make sure that I get you guys on your feet stronger than ever, or stronger like before, and yeah, get you back up. So let's talk about in general. We're going to talk about health and fitness. Yeah, we are going to make it not just a little bit casual, and we're going to go through some of the questions that we've been receiving from our patients and our clients, and we're just going to answer it to you right now. Right. So firstly, one of the very common questions that we have been getting is why is there an increase in neck and back pain during COVID-19? So as we all know, right now it's been about 92 days, maybe 92 days that we have been in MCO. We've been in lockdown, so everybody's working from home, or everybody is being a little bit more inactive. All right, so they're not going out as often. Okay, so one of the reasons, or one of the whys that increase in neck and back pains, one of it is inactivity and less physical activities. So here's an example. You're doing a desk job, for example. You've been working. When you want to go to the bathroom, for example, you're gonna have to walk 10 meters away, right? For example, but then you're working from home. Everything is really close. The toilet's only 10 steps away from you. So we are moving less, and with public parks that are being closed in the gyms, so we are doing less physical activities. We're not exercising enough, or we're not playing our sports. Next, we talk about the increase in sitting in the front of your computer or the use of mobile devices. All right. So when we are at home, all right, we may not be in the most ergonomical place. All right. When we're in the office, when we're doing our work, for example, on the computer, we have a proper computer table, a very good chair. When we're doing our work. Maybe there are some who's working at home, they don't have those. They be working on their kitchen table. Maybe they'll work in a makeshift desk that they made. So they're not having a very good ergonomical posture, right? And playing with mobile devices. So you have your phone, all right. So most of the time when you're using your phone, how many of us are going to sit up straight and use our phone with our eyes levels in front? So we don't really do that. So what we'll do is we'll have our phone, we'll look down, and we'll play, right? So that's going to put a lot of strain in the neck. So one of the most common contributing factors in the increase in neck and back pain would be using too much of your phones, right? Using too much of the computers, playing computer games and doing work. All right, so to top that, we want to talk about here are the basic exercises for neck and back pain. So these are the basics. If you want to go into more detail, you will have to seek maybe a doctor or a physiotherapist for them to check on what's the condition that you have. So in the sense that, hey, you have something that's more severe or maybe something that's not too severe. So our basic exercises is just for everyday people, just to get something what's it called? Want to get something easy on that is not too tough to do, and you can do it very easily. So firstly, it's called the chin tuck exercise. So a lot of us, when you're looking at the side of the mirror, our head is we kind of tilt forward, all right? So we have that nice flexion of the neck. So that can cause strain, that can cause some pain. So what we can do, right? We can do some chin tuck exercises. Very simple exercise. You can do it when you're sitting, you can do it when you're standing, right? So chin tuck exercise is very simple. So for example, if you're turning when you're turning your head down or when you're slouching, for example, all you gotta do is just straighten up your body, all right, your neck. All you gotta do is just tuck your chin back in. All right, look straight. So what you want to do is just this nice posture. You don't want to be pushing back too much. That's you can't breathe, right? So you don't want to be bobbing your head forward. Right? You want to keep it nice, straight, and tall. So these can help to elevate that pressure from your spine on the neck, so that it does not cause you too much for back pain. All right. So next, what we call this is the cat and camel pose. Real simple exercise as well. I heard that they do this a lot in yoga. So cat and camel pose is really helps with your hip mobility, the hips, which is your just below your waist, the hips. So the mobility, we'll talk about what's mobility later on, but how well your hip moves. All right. So how to do this exercise is you're going to get down on all fours based on the picture. You're going to be on all fours, on your hands, on your knees. What you're going to do is we're going to start do the cat stretch first. So the cat stretch, it's like when you see a cat when you get scared, how it fills up. So what you're going to do is you're going to arch your back, you're going to round your back. Think of pushing your stomach to the ceiling. You're going to tilt your head down. You're going to push your butt down. You're going to get a nice stretch at the arch right there. As you're doing that, you're going to take in a deep breath. All right, you hold it for about 5 to 10 seconds. And when you feel it's good, what you're going to do is you're going to move into that camel position. So the camel position is when you do the reverse, which is you're going to start to push your stomach downwards. All right, then you're going to start to arch the back. You're going to look up, you're going to push the butt back, then you're going to breathe out. Right? So this helps to stretch and mobilize your lower back, so some of your hip movements. So this is a very good exercise, a very basic one, just to get a little bit of relief for your lower back. All right. So next one of my personal favorites as well. This is called the child's pose. So this I like this stretch a lot because it really helps to stretch your entire back. All right. So from that cat camel, from that all fours position, what you're going to do is you're going to sit back and sit on your feet like the picture above. You're going to stretch your hands outwards. You're going to look down. You're going to try to get your chest to touch the floor. And you're going to, as you're outstretching your hands, all right, you're going to really feel the stretch on your back. One of the muscles is called your lats. All right. So you're going to get stretch on your lats, from your lower back, your mid back. You'll be stretched on the shoulders as well. And just have your normal breathing, about 30 seconds. I feel like this is a very good way to get those, not just lower back stiffness, but a bit of the upper back stiffness as well. So, in another thing or another way we can talk about another thing next to exercise is ergonomics. So we mentioned it before about when we are doing work and when we are in the office, we may have ergonomic what's the word called ergonomic furniture, tables, chairs, for example, if you're working in the office. All right. So, but you're at home, you may not have the opportunity or you don't have those equipments furniture, sorry. So one like this picture we're going to show you right now is the an ergonomical furniture that you can use to make sure that you have proper posture when you're doing your work. But ergonomic does not mean it's economical. All right, for you to get those really high-end seat stand desk or those chair with those great lumbar supports, it's going to cost a lot. But it's very good in the sense of keeping a posture right. If you're going to be spending hours and hours on the sitting down doing your work, which we don't really recommend, which we recommend you to move around. But even if you have to, being having ergonomic furniture is really good. But since it's not economical, we can do what we can say a few hacks, right? A few hacks to keep our wallets happy, but in the sense of we can still get some ergonomics there, right? So one of it is our yoga ball, right? You can get a yoga ball. It's You can find it in a lot of fitness stores. If you're lucky, you find it in those hypermarkets as well. The one where you have to pump air in. So those yoga balls are great. It's a ball, and when you sit on it, your body is going to automatically try to balance yourself. So if you're sitting on the ball and you're just letting go, you're going to fall, right? So what this ball does is it helps to train your muscles to be active all the time, and you're in better control. So when you're sitting on the ball as you're doing work with it, your body is constantly trying to fight you from moving left to right, side to side. So you're getting a little bit of a workout as well. And it's also an active movement. So when you are slouching on the ball, it's very easy to fall. So you want to make sure you keep your body upright, your feet fully planted on the ground. So you actually start to improve your posture just by using yoga ball. So this is one of the things uh, that you can use to help with the ergonomics, and as well as things like if you are using a laptop on a table and you are looking down, all right, you can actually find a way to prop the laptop slightly a little bit higher so that the screen is just about at your eye level. Yeah. So I got a question here saying that from William. All right. So William said that he's 33 years old and he's hunched. And his suggestion. So when you're hunched, we like to see how your daily posture is. So if you are hunching in a sense that you're doing activities like work on the computer as well, so you're going to be hunching and with very bad posture, we want to try to correct that. So very simple things you can do is go up against a wall. All right, you want to be standing tall, going up against the wall, put your feet all the way to the back of the wall, then you just want to lean on the wall. So as you lean on the wall, if your hunch, all you practice is pulling your shoulder blades back up. All right. So that's one of the ways to really try to stand tall, but it's going to be really tiring because you're going to be put in this position for a long time. So that's one of the exercises you can give it a try, but you don't focus too much on the shoulders only. You got to think of your hips. If you are standing really tall, but your hips are slouching forward, you are moving forward, sorry, so you are still considered slouching slightly, all right? Your body, you're only straightening out, but you're compromising the back. So what you can do is mostly is besides the exercise is also self-awareness that you are slouching, trying to keep your body upright. If you're doing a lot of computer work, you can start to you can try to get a yoga ball. All right, you can sit on the ball, keep your body straight, start to do all those cat and camel exercises, get that back a little bit more mobile, right? Get that back a little bit more movement. All right. So the idea is you don't want to be stuck in this position all the time. You want to be really opening up the chest, or you want to be opening it up. All right. So next from Winnie. All right. So her question is, since she works from home, less movement or physical activities, how much workout should we do to maintain active and healthy? All right. Great question. How much to do it depends on you itself. So there is no de facto answer saying that hey, you gotta work 5 times a week to stay fit. You gotta work 3 times a week to stay fit. You gotta work out every day. You have to see your physical activities before. Right, before everything happened, how physical you are. All right. So I do this amount of exercise for this amount of time in this whole week. Right. So now with MCO and all that, you want to translate that into this period of time. So to know to find out how much how much activity you should be doing, it depends on you. I don't want to say that I can't give you an answer, but the answer is it depends on you on how you are going to train. So if you've been running a marathon, for example, you've been training for a marathon all this while, and right now MCO is not there, and you're trying to work out, you want to try to get maybe the same amount of intensity. All right, if let's say the marathon is still there and you get the same amount of intensity, or the golden rule is some movement is better than no movement. Right? As if you're adding just maybe a 10-minute workout every day, is better than not doing anything. So for you to get a proper answer on how much, it depends on you, and you can stick to my rule of thumb, maybe it's 3 to 5 times a week on the activities that you enjoy doing at the intensity that your body is able to cope. You don't want to be working out too much and until your body starts to degrade, or hey, my body can't keep up, then that's the way we get injured. All right, thanks. So let's move on to another common questions we've been getting is the occasional numbness and cramps after prolonged hours of sitting. So yeah, we've been sitting a lot more, all right, especially since we're being at home, we're moving less. So why do we start to, or why some of us start to get numbness and cramps? Right, so here are some of the common causes. These are not the only causes, but some of the common causes of you getting numbness or cramps if you do. Right, so firstly is blood circulation. Blood circulation is in our blood flow. So when you are sitting down for too long, right, your blood has a problem of, not say a problem, but it starts to circulate a little bit more slow. All right, then there's this phenomena that may happen, which is called blood pooling, where the blood just stays at one area. For example, the legs, you're sitting too long, then you start to have that feelings of pins and needles, like wow, pins and needles in the legs. So that can cause numbness and or cramps. Another reason would be your pinched nerves. Sitting down for too long, your nerves can get compressed. If you have very bad posture, all right, you can start to compress the nerves. So that can cause you numbness and cramps. Another reason is muscle strain, or another word is when your muscles overwork. So even with, for example, you are doing very good posture, for example, you're really trying to keep yourself upright, or you're not having good posture, your muscles are going to be strained. If you're keeping very good posture and you're trying to fight it, you want to really work very long on the computer, you're going to be contracting those muscles, or you're going to be squeezing those muscles a lot. So they're going to get overworked. They may get cramped. Or if you're slouching, all right, those muscles at the back, they're going to be stretched. All right, so as they're being stretched, after an hour or two, you come back up, you get a cramp because the muscle can't come back to their normal length. Hence, you can get cramps as well. Another reason is dehydration, or just not enough water. As we know, water having electrolytes are really important for our body, and we need it for our daily bodily function. And without that, you may get cramps and numbness. All right. So, all right. Here's a very great question. I gained or lost weight during these few months. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Right. Okay. So straight off the bat, I like to say it depends. Right. It depends on a lot of factors, but I like to say about three things. Firstly, number one, let's talk about what contributes to weight gain or weight loss. So firstly, we've got water. All right, you drink water, you lose water like through sweating, your muscles and fat. So we talk about water, and we take water out because we're talking about some things that is harder to change. For example, muscles and fat. So giving you an example, let's say I'm 50 kilos right now. After 92 days, I am 47. Right, I haven't been doing much activity. My goal was to lose weight. Hey, I lost weight. I think that's great. But it depends on that loss. What did you lose? So weight loss can be loss of muscle or loss of fat. Right? So when you look at the scale does not give you, sorry, the weighing scale, the scale does not give you a straight answer. It just tell you from 50, you went on 47, right? Or you gain some weight, right? This whole MCO, I gained a kilo, right? Maybe my goal was to gain weight. Maybe I'm 50, I was wanted to be 55, so I gained a kilo, but I'm not being that active. I could be gaining muscle or gaining fat. Right. So it's going to be really hard to answer the question whether it's good or bad unless you get it tested. So, like for example, at our place at iSports, we have a nutritionist. She does skinful measurements in the sense that she gets to measure your body and find out how much fat you have, how much muscle you have in relation to your weight, and gets to paint you a clearer picture on the amount of weight you lost or the amount of weight you have is the percentage of, is it more muscle, is it more fat? So whether is it good or bad, like I said, it depends. You have to see how much of activity you've been doing, and you can't just always just trust the scale. You're gonna have to go deep in just a little bit deeper on finding out whether was it muscle or fat that you gain or lost. All right. So here's another question: why do I suffer from sprain easily? So right now during MCO, since you're a little bit inactive, we are going to start to be, I won't say weaker, but we're not as strong as we were before because we're doing less active. So what if you're walking, maybe you stub your toe or you twist your ankle, you get sprained. So why do we suffer from that? So I like to talk about the three factors, three pillars that I feel that is, in my opinion, is really important, which is flexibility, strength, and mobility. All right. So flexibility, to put it real simple, it's your muscle, the ability to stretch. All right. So a real good way is asking you to stand up, feet together, legs straight, try to touch your toes. All right. Are you able to touch your toes? If you are, that's great. You're flexible. But if you can't, maybe you have very tight hamstrings, which is the back of the legs. Maybe you have a very tight back. That is a contributing factor to flexibility. Right? Think of it like a rubber band. If you're pulling a rubber band, it stretches. If you let go, it comes back. Your muscle acts something like a rubber band. Right. So we talk about mobility. We talked about earlier on. Mobility is, in the simple terms, movement of your joints. Right. Your joints, like your wrist joints, right? It can turn around. All right. That's mobility for you. All right. How much you can turn around, if you have very small rotation or you have very big rotation, that talks about the mobility of your joints. All right. And strength, real simple. Everything everybody knows about is the state of being strong, how strong you are in physically in performing your certain activities. All right, so I believe that these three things is really important for our daily lives, and which is also really important for our day-to-day tasks. All right, so for example, the picture I put on the first picture of the guy or the person right there trying to lift up the box. For him to go down into that squat position where he's squatting all the way down, he's going to need a level of flexibility that would not hurt his back. Right, he's going to need to be able to bend his knees. He needs that mobility. Right, he needs to have that flexibility, and as he grabs the box, he's going to need that strength to lift the box up. Talking about putting in the strength scene or in the fitness scene, you want to be carrying your barbells, you want to be doing weights, you're going to need that flexibility, you're going to need the mobility and strength. If you don't have it, you may have an issue trying to lift or push that heavy weight that you're planning to. So having flexibility, mobility, and strength, I feel, is a very, very important thing to still have and to still work on, even though you're only doing 8 to 10 minutes a day, to avoid things like injury. Because with this three, there is you will have a higher chance of just reducing the risk of injury. All right. So here's another question: is what can I do now to stay active? All right. So there's a lot of things that we can do. In the sense that social media or the internet has really, really helped us a lot in the sense of giving us an outlet and opportunities to perform exercises. All right. So, but before all that, we always like to give a recommendation or just give some advice in the sense of always seek out professionals or doctors before engaging in an exercise of any kind to make sure that you are fit and healthy to perform any exercises that is prescribed to you, so that the doctors or the professionals like physiotherapists or the sports rehab therapists, they know better in the sense that, okay, you've been healthy all this while, all right, but I realize you said that every time you walk up the stairs there's a clip on the knee, or every time you try to open the door your wrist cramps. It doesn't hurt, but it's just something, all these small things that you don't take into account, but for those small things may lead to bigger things. So always seek out professional help or a doctor before engaging in any exercise. All right. So firstly, what can you do to stay active? All right. So there's so many things that we can do to stay active. The first thing I like to talk about is trying to exercise just at home. All right. Body weight workouts. Okay. So for those who have not done body weight workouts before, they can start to Google, in the sense that those very functional body weight workouts such as squats, push-ups, sit-ups, those exercises are the core foundation of our body, and you should be proficient, I would say, or you should be at least able to do some of these exercises before you start to do anything more drastic, such like, hey, I'm gonna start doing. I never done jump squats before. I saw it online. I'm gonna start doing jump squats. You have to make sure that you're able to do squats carefully, right? Do it properly before you start to go into something that is more what's it called? There's more advanced. Next would be try to find those exercise classes online. Facebook, Instagram, they're all coming out with great content in people promoting exercises or having those classes, which is what in my opinion I feel is good because it's accessible, right? if after the MCO is taken off, everything goes back to normal, you still want to work out, but you're traveling a lot, you're never in one place. These online classes, exercise classes, are really good because you get to train wherever you are. If you're in a hotel room or maybe you're at home, you get to train. So doing online training is a very good way to make sure that you are still working out even though you don't have much time. Next is we can talk about right now is video games. I know it sounds kind of weird me saying video games, but I'm talking about exercise gaming, right? So now there are a lot of consoles out right there which promotes or have devices where you get to play video games while exercising at the same time. For example, hey, if you get this controller, this controller is going to be strapped to your legs, strapped to your hands. So for you to move the character in the screen, you're going to have to be running, you're going to have to be jumping. So that's a very, very good way on trying to get yourself active as well. So the idea is, like I mentioned before, the idea is doing something instead of not doing anything at all. Those little things that you do will go a long way. All right. All right. So this is for those who has been active and asking how do I get back to an active lifestyle after MCO. So whatever you've been fitness level, whatever that has been previously early on, you're gonna have to understand that you may not perform as you did before if you're trying to do it now because you've been inactive. If you've been working out at home, trying to match that intensity, as in match that same amount of work you've been doing, I think that's okay. All right, but if you are starting back from after 2 month break, 1 month break, or just starting to go high intensity again, I would like to recommend just getting back to the basics. All right. So examples such as if you've been running a marathon, you've been training for a marathon, or you've been training for a weightlifting competition, for example, you've been doing this amount of work. Right. You've been doing so much work, working real hard. Then MCO hits. Hey, I can't work out that much. I'm doing 50% less. I'm doing 70% less. Then everything opens up, gym's good, I can go out for my run again. Should I or should I not straight, hey, 3 months ago, I was supposed to be able to run 21 kilometers in 1 hour, for example. So I think I should be doing it now. So there is a high chance of you getting injured if you're doing that because you're straight jumping back into something that intense, maybe that your body has already adapted to being a little bit more sedentary. So you should be trying to meet the expectation of your own body and whether the body is able to handle that situation or handle that stress that you're trying to put it on. All right. And a very good way to know how that body is or how what expectation the body needs is to test. All right. So there are a lot of places or a lot of people who do testings. For example, like us at iSports, we do testing for fitness testing and fitness measurements. What we'll do is, for example, you let us know, hey, I want to get back to running. All right. I haven't run in 2 to 3 months. I want to know what I should be doing. Can I go back to running 21K? Can I go back to doing my usual 42K? Can I go back to lifting 50 kilos? So what you want to do is to make sure that you're doing some fitness testing to see, hey, after doing this fitness testing, maybe I'm only performing 70% of what I could before. So you have a benchmark. So that 70% is your new 100%. So that you're going to slowly work towards that. So once you test, you measure, you will slowly tweak. Not saying that you have to restart everything back to square one, but you're going to want to slowly reassess and change your workouts so that your body is better adapted. Once your body starts to get adapted, maybe in a few weeks' time, you can go back to your same workload, same volume, and that will start to reduce the risk of having an injury. All right. Okay. So what can I do to better prepare myself to start or go back to fitness? So these are just some of my personal opinions that I would like to share. All right. Firstly, here are some of the essentials, which is firstly, like I mentioned before, seek a professional doctor if you have any health concerns or injuries before engaging in activity. And the second thing I'd like to talk to you about having a goal. All right, so how many of us here that works out because we just want to stay fit? I think there are a few here. We just have the term of we want to be fit, but what's the end goal? Is the end goal to be fit to do an activity, to be fit to look a certain way, or to be fit in overall health, there should be a goal. Because if you don't have a goal, there is nothing for you to progress on. It means you'll be doing the same thing you've been always doing. And if you've been doing the same thing you always do, you're going to get what you always have. So having a goal, I like to split it to having a long-term goal and a short-term goal. So long-term goal is that the end point that you really want to hit. For example, if you want to be a faster ultimate frisbee player, if you want to be a faster marathon runner, that's the end goal. But how do I get there, right? Trying to run a marathon in 2 hours, that's going to be tough. Right, full marathon in another 2 hours, that's going to be tough. But what you can do is, okay, I want to set small goals to reach that. I want to make sure that I can run 10 kilometers at this time. If I achieve that, I'm going to make sure I can run 20 kilometers in that time. So slowly having those small goals will slowly lead you up to that big goal. So one of my opinions is having a goal first, trying to find a goal, make sure that it's attainable, that it's measurable, and that is something that you really want to do, and start to work backwards and find a way that to reach this goal, what must I do first? So next would be testing and measurement. We mentioned it earlier on. Once you have a goal, you need to know where you are. All right, you need to know that, hey, I always wanted to do this. I need to test and measure, see where I am, so that you yourself or your trainer or your therapist, they get to plan out for you. Okay, you should be doing this in this amount of time. You should be doing this at this amount of volume, at this amount of duration. So you get to have a clearer picture, and you get to see that progression, that that graph that goes up. You get to see that progression as you're moving along. Okay, so for beginners who have maybe have a problem or have an issue in wondering how to start, I like to say start with something you enjoy. Right? That nothing is bad that worse than you trying to, example, do an exercise that you don't want, or you knowing that, hey, doctor said that I really need to work out because it may affect my health. Right? So it's time to work out. But I don't like to work out. I don't like to work out. I don't like to sweat and all that. So what you want to do is find something that you enjoy doing. Maybe it's you don't like to go to the gym, you don't like to run, but you like to play badminton, you like to play football. All right. If you're okay with it, start with that. All right. Do something fun for you. All right. Something fun that gets you sweating, get your heart rate pumping. Right. So that you can slowly get into the idea of, okay, wow, I'm starting to enjoy sweating. I'm starting to enjoy the toughness of the workout, right? So when you start to enjoy it, it's going to be something that you are looking forward to do more, and hence the goal that you've been doing will stick. All right. So another thing is staying hydrated and fueled during workouts. I've seen a lot of people um, going through workouts not properly hydrated or not even properly fueled. All right, hydrated as in making sure that you're having enough water as you're working out, prior, after, and during your workouts. So one good way of measuring what they'll do is, if I'm going to work out today, just before I work out, I'm going to measure. I'm going to weigh myself. Maybe I'm about 70 kilos right now. Then I'm going to go work out. An hour, 2 hours later, come back, I weigh myself. Oh wow, I'm 69. I lost a kilo. So that kilo is roughly loss of water because you are sweating. All right, so we like to say it's an equivalence of 1 kilo is equivalent to almost 1 liter. So that's the amount of water you should replenish after your workout. So staying hydrated is really important. All right, next being fueled. How many of us has started workouts that you're on an empty stomach? All right, you want to go on a run with an empty stomach, but you say, hey, I want to run I want to run 2 hours today, for example. But as you run the first hour, you're going to get hungry. It's going to affect the way you think, going to affect your movement. So you have to make sure that you're fueled during the race. So during the run, sorry. So for that to happen, make sure you have proper meals before. If you're going something for maybe more than 60 minutes, you're going for prolong activity, you may have something during, and definitely have a post-workout meal to make sure that you're fueling those energy that you just lost. All right, and lastly, my take, another opinion I like to have and advice is to warm up and cooling down. All right, so warm up, really important. The idea is to get the blood pumping, get those muscles nice and warm, so that as you're doing the movement, all right, your body has lower chance of getting injury. All right, and also cooling down, which is really essential. How many of us has after a workout, maybe with some friends, with some colleagues, after we work out, we straight say, hey, let's go have a meal. We just pack up and go. All right, so making sure that you're spending some time to cool down is to number one to stretch. Some research say that doing the stretching helps to release the lactic acid, those acid that is stored in the muscle as you're working out. All right, to really push it back into the bloodstream, and also helps to help improve the circulation of your body. And if you fuel correctly and you hydrated well enough, doing the cool down helps to shuffle the blood around your system a little bit better, and it gets you to recover much faster. All right, so the takeaways today is we're just having a very short conversation on health and fitness. So what we wanted to just share to you that even though we are in this predicament, this position right now, this pandemic, it should not take away our sense of wanting to work out, wanting to stay healthy. Everybody is so focused on, you know, staying healthy in a sense of social distancing, which is great and all, but let's not forget to love ourselves, all right, and love our body, and also making sure that we are staying healthy in the sense of being fit. So, okay, so I think that's all from me today. Thank you for those who are tuning in, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.